Hello everyone, it's Kari, and today I have a new card to share using this pull tab slider from Popsicle Sticks. Last week I shared this really cool pocket Slimline box card that used that pull tab, but today I want to make an A2 card with this same die. So I wanted to show you how cool and versatile this set is. So I'm starting with a couple of different panels, and I've already inked on this Stonewall stencil on the blue cardstock. It's kind of a teal blue, darker blue. And now I'm going to ink that same stencil onto a gray cardstock. I'm using iced spruce distress oxide for this, and I think it creates a really fun look. See there? And that's going to be our top panel to hide the slider. So we have our two panels here. On this one, I've already cut out this little notch, just used half of it to cut out that little top piece. And now I'm going to use this piece that looks kind of like a Polaroid and line up that notch with the center and the bottom of the cardstock panel. So I tape that on and run that through, and what that does is creates two little notches in our A2 sized panel. And now I'm going to cut these pieces out of white cardstock. So this piece has a score line on it that you just bend over, and it fits perfectly inside those tabs. And then all you do is fold those over and tape on the little bridge piece. I'm going to call this a bridge piece right here. Tape that on, making sure not to get any glue on the teal cardstock, just on those tabs. This is what's going to create the little slider here. And you can see that will slide up and down easily. Now it's time to add the pull tab to that piece. So I'm going to glue that just only to that piece and hold that down with a magnet until it dries. Now I've also cut out this little arrow piece from the same colored cardstock, and that's what I'm going to use for the little pull notification. I'm just going to call it a notification there. That's what will tell your recipient to pull. And I'm trimming off this top piece, although I realized that I really didn't need to because that pull tab piece would fit perfectly right inside the notch there. And I'm going to glue that around and so that it fits right here on that pull piece. There we go. This is just a trial run right there. And now I've got these Slimline borders dies that I'm going to use to cut out that gray panel. That will be our front panel that's going to hide these channels here. So I want to make sure I cut it high enough so that it covers the channels and a little bit higher to cover the dragon just a little. So it's going to give us a sneak peek at what is to come. So I'm just kind of figuring out where that needs to go on this panel to cut it, and it's going to cover those channels and a little of that dragon. So when I cut it out, it will look something like this, and this is going to pull up from the card. Now I haven't attached this yet. I'm just kind of laying out how I want this to go. So since I need this building to be just a little taller, I'm going to use a piece of acetate to attach it to that slider bridge and then also to our building with the dragon on top. And that will extend this just a little bit, make it taller so that it goes exactly where I want it to go. So see, I'm just testing that out there, making sure you can still see the pull tab, making sure you can still see the dragon from the building just a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and glue that right there to the acetate, right where I want it to be. So I'm going to just line that up a little and then allow that to dry before using that again. For the front panel, I will add some foam tape. I'm going to test this out a little bit here. That's going to look really cool. So I'm going to use some foam tape to raise this up just a little bit. And this is where I'm going to put some of these other buildings that I have ready to go. And then I'll put this little character here. And I think I'm going to add that butterbeer cart to the left there as well. Before I add all of those, I want to stamp on one of the sentiments from one of the stamp sets from Popsicle Sticks. It says, "You're a wizard," and I thought that would be perfect right there in between those buildings. So I'm stamping that with some black ink a couple of times, and now we can put our card together. Before I glue that top panel, or before I add foam tape to the top panel, I'm just going to glue on all these little houses and shops. That way we'll be all ready to go to put this card together. So I'm using liquid adhesive for most of them, but I am going to pop up this little character right here with foam tape. And he'll look really cute and dimensional that way. And I'll put him right about there. So now we're ready to put this panel over the top. That's going to be a really good covering. And we only want to add foam tape to 3 sides, not to the top of this panel, because then that will inhibit the slider tab. So just to 3 sides, it's just going to cover up that mechanism there. So I'll remove the backer, add this to my panel, just like so. And now we're ready to pull this tab. I'll add this to a card base. So I have a white card base here, and I've left a little bit of room around the entire panel so that you can see the card base, but I decided I didn't really like that white showing. So I'm bringing in a dark navy blue panel that will be the frame mat for our piece, and I like that a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that to the card base. And then I'll go ahead and glue this also just around the edges here, and making sure not to cover any of that tab mechanism so that it will still pull out perfectly. So I'll glue that on just like that. There we go. And now let's test this out. So look at how cool that is. The building will pop up so you can see more of it here. As I was looking, I decided I didn't love the white tab showing. So since this is my card, I'm just going to do a little card surgery and cut that off. Now, the reason you can still see this is because I did offset that building a little to the right. I wanted to still be able to see that arrow that you pull, and so that is why it is still visible. And I'll take just a little Sharpie here and color off the tab where I couldn't cut it. Now you can't really see it that much, and I like that a lot better. So look how cute this card is. That will pull up. You can use this pull tab slider for any idea that you have, and I love it for this magic flying car as well. It just hides really well into that pocket there. If you missed my video from last week, I will link it so that you can go back and take a look how fun these cards are to make and how cool a pop-up little surprise is on either an A2 card or a Slimline box card. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I really enjoyed making it and creating this card. Give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. I'll be back real soon with more card inspiration, more fun, definitely a lot more crafts. We'll see you then. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.